Hey friend, in this video I'm going to do a little review of quarter two of my 2021 focus, which was make mistakes. I chose that because I am a recovering perfectionist and I really wanted to get a better handle on my perfectionism and inner critic and all that stuff. And if you want to hear more about that and why I chose it, you can check out this video where I explain that more. And if you would like to see my quarter one review, I have a link for that in the cards and in the description down below. And then later in this video, I'm going to just give kind of a general update on my life and what is coming next to this YouTube channel. So since my last update in March, I kind of fell back into some old perfectionistic habits and mean inner critic things in my head. I think part of it was because I've just entered a bit of a more stressful time and with some more like outer expectations and deadlines. And so because I do a lot better with at least this past year so far of managing when it's like my own goals, but whenever it's like a deadline for someone else, I just so badly don't want to disappoint people that then it just becomes a way too much pressure, and then I beat myself up if I'm ever behind schedule or if things aren't going perfectly. Like if I'm creating something for someone, I'm just having these incredibly high standards that I've been learning no one else is putting on me. I'm just like, here's the expectations for others of me, and I'm just like, bloop, we're gonna, no, like way up here, we're just gonna, it's gotta be this good. And they're like, oh no, like this is great. And so I'm trying to get that back through my head. And then, I've talked about this before on my channel, but when you are under stress, that's a natural time that you might find yourself regressing a bit on the progress you've made. That's normal and that's okay. And now that I'm saying that out loud, that's how I learn things a lot. The things that I would share with other people if I'm talking to a friend or doing these YouTube videos, I'm like, oh, I needed to hear that. But it's starting to kind of, we're not back to where I was a couple months ago, but we are making progress again. Because I don't remember where I left off in the last update video, but I was getting to a really good place where it was just huge for me. Because usually I've been the kind of person where I take everything way too seriously, and I'm like, I've got to make the most of every single second of every single day, which is torture on your brain and your emotional state and everything. But I was finally getting to a place where, okay, I need a nap, so I am going to take a nap. My brain is just done, so I am going to play a video game or, whatever it may be. Like, just if I have a need, I meet that need, which seems so simple, but that's always been really hard for me. But I had been getting to this place of being able to do that with so much less guilt, which that was huge for me. But I kind of fell back down, and some of that guilt started creeping back in, started taking less breaks, or when I did, just felt just like overthinking of like, is this okay? Is this too much time for me? Have I gotten just enough so I can get back to work? Because I had fallen behind on some projects, and so I was just super stressed of like, and I gave myself that excuse of like, oh, it's just for a season, I can push myself. But I should know better. I know myself, and whenever I say that of like, oh, this is just a busy season, that lasts for like 5 years. So that's why I always have to make sure I'm sticking to a good routine for my mental health, making sure I'm taking breaks, because once I tell myself that excuse of, oh, it's just a busy season, it's okay to overwork myself for a short period of time, which usually that's true for other people. But for me, I just know that one season turns into many, so I just have to be careful and really guard my time for me. Despite all the extra anxiety and like depression and different things I've been dealing with lately, I have been still making good progress and getting out of my comfort zone. I've still been doing some speaking things, and actually the most recent one, just yesterday, well, before I'm filming this, I finally recorded my talk for, I was chosen to speak at the Mental Health Blog Awards, which is super exciting, and I'm so honored that they let me come speak. I'm doing a little talk on personality and mental health. I will include a link down below because at the time I'm filming this, they still are selling tickets. If you want to attend that event, there's going to be some good talks around mental health, and then of course you get to see the awards given, and which is just, it's good to find out some more people who are in that space. But I think they also are, I'm pretty sure they're going to be putting each of the talks on YouTube later, so you can also catch, I'll send out a link on my social media once that's posted if you'd like to see it. But oh my goodness, you guys. So speaking of making mistakes, but then also when other people make mistakes and that affects you, I have had quite the week of things out of my control happening that kept postponing being able to film this video for the Mental Health Blog Awards. Like, first, the AC in our car stopped working, and while my husband was taking it to get looked at, first he found a screw in our tire, so we had to get that replaced. But while he was out and I was home alone, our apartment started to flood. First I heard dripping, and then like water started coming out from our fridge, and then it started coming out from like our countertop and under the microwave, and then down this vent, and then it started like coming down the walls, and then it started pouring out into our bathroom. I started like throwing down towels as quick as I could, and then I saw that in my husband's closet it started dripping down too, so I took everything out of his closet. It was quite a day, and so now I am at my parents' house for the week until they get that taken care of at our apartment. It's a really tiny apartment, and my husband and I both are working from home during this season, and so not a really good environment for them to be working on stuff and not being able to use a whole closet. So then I'm at my parents' house. I was going to film on a Monday. Today is now Wednesday. I was going to film on Monday, and I forgot that my parents watch my niece and nephew on that day, and it was also thunderstorming, so you know, noises, so I had to put off filming another day. And then on the day I finally was sitting down, I was recording. Everything kept going wrong. First I recorded the whole like 15-minute talk straight, and then the video just disappeared. I don't know what happened. Like this teleprompter app I've just started using, like, it even has video backups if you're on the pro plan. So I did the free trial so I could access the video backups, thinking like, okay, it's gonna be there. It wasn't there. I don't know what happened. And then the doorbell kept ringing, and apparently one of my parents' neighbors, just totally an accident, they were backing out and hit the car that we've been borrowing while our car is in the shop, and denting the front. So that's going on. Whew, but I finally got the video done. I edited it this morning because also, of course, since my phone was on low power mode, it stopped uploading my videos to iCloud, which is how I then get it from that onto my laptop to edit it. So I had to wait till the morning for that to finally upload, because I had to press resume since it stopped. And even though my phone was charging, so yeah, crazy times. Things happen, whether it's our own mistakes or the mistakes of others, or things that are just out of our control. But just learning to roll with it, and that is life. Though I've noticed that I tend to handle things a lot better if it's something that is out of my control or because of another person. I think it really is just this inner perfectionism that, I mean, like, those other things can stress me out, but it rarely stresses me out nearly as much as when like something goes wrong because I made a mistake. Like that's where I really struggle. So all those other things, like it's like, okay, I mean, this is inconvenient, but it's fine. Everything will be fine. But whenever it's like I did one little thing wrong, I'm like, I am the worst. This is horrible. Everything's falling apart because I made a mistake. And so that's what I'm working on. I'm working on letting things go when it's because of me, you know, whether it actually is or perceived, you know. But yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. I don't know. It feels like this whole year, I can't believe we're halfway through this year. Like, I know that that's such a cliche thing to say, and I probably say it every year, but like this year, seriously, I almost literally cannot believe. Like, I keep having to check my calendar. I'm like, is this right? Like, no, this can't be the halfway point. Like, what? But yeah, so lots of stress. Kind of went from like woo to like on the decline, but now we are kind of here. We're not back up to where we were, but we are making progress. Especially as I'm managing my stress. Ooh, that's another thing I should mention, that I am wanting to, as I'm working on things for myself, trying to manage my own stress better, to have a better life, but also because cortisol is extremely toxic when it, you know, you're supposed to have the cycle of it, but if it's just constantly putting cortisol out into your body, that can cause so much damage in so many ways. And so I'm trying to work on managing my stress better, so I will eventually do some videos about that. I'm currently reading several books, including that bestseller book called Burnout. I'll do a review on that. So far it's really good, but I'm only at the beginning. And I'm trying to also hack the stress cycle from that book and some videos I watched online. I will share my experience of trying to hack the stress cycle, try to manage my stress better. So make sure to subscribe if you'd like to see that kind of content. And speaking of content coming to this channel, I wanted to give an update about that. I did mention how I've had some other things like preparing for that talk. I've been working on this art commission and like trying to catch up. It's a really big project, and some other things I'm working on, and there's just been a lot of extra things even on top of what I normally do. So my videos have been coming out a bit slower than I would like, but we're still going. We're still making progress. And what I do know for sure is that I will at least have a video coming out in this July. I talked about it before, that I am going to have a video that is an introduction to several common personality theories, where I will tell you about what each one is about, and then also the learning curve of each, because I know it's just so hard sometimes, like, especially if you're new to this, like, where do I even start? There's so many things out there. If you Google like personality test, like, there's going to be so many things that come up when you search that, and a lot of junk, and so, and it's just hard to know what is this for? What is this doing? What is the purpose of this? Why should I take this? So I'll tell you about what each one can kind of help you do, or what it focuses on, and then how easy each one is, because sometimes if you're brand new, it might be best to start with one of the simpler ones, even though they have kind of more general descriptions, you know, than the ones that have more types, you know, because if it's like 4 types, like, you're gonna find like a little bit of yourself in it and a little bit not, because it's just, to categorize 4 people, it's going to be a much broader description, you know. So anyways, but much easier to understand and test it for yourself online, and good stuff. And if you want to, sorry, I'm talking so fast and I'm like, bloop, bloop, bloop. I had an energy drink this morning to kind of help me get some work done, and so I feel like I'm extra like all over the place. What am I even saying? So right, so if you are someone that wants to go into some of the ones that do take some more study, or might need someone to help you through it, like a profiler, I have that as well. But yeah, that's I need to slow down. That's what that video will be about, and then there's gonna be more things after that. Sorry, that's so vague. I should have looked at I have a whole content schedule. I should have looked at that before I started this video, but I'm very excited about that one, because that's going to be a video I will reference back to a lot. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. I'm also hoping to do some more interviews, hopefully getting in at least a couple more before the end of this year, maybe more. We'll see how much time I have. But because it takes a lot more energy out of me as an introvert, because it's very different to have a human conversation instead of, just talking to myself, where I can easily edit this. I mean, I can edit those too, but, you have someone seeing you. I mean, I guess this is my video on making mistakes, and here I am confessing that it's still a struggle to talk to other human beings on video, and this is real life. This is what we're working on. This is why I'm trying to do, go on more podcasts and start having these interviews, and because it's just good practice for me, and both in letting go of, if I make mistakes, it's all good, I'm human, and hopefully improving my speaking skills as well. But I did have my very first interview. It was a panel discussion, this group of amazing men. You can check that out above or in the description below. I highly encourage you to check it out. Again, it was on men's mental health, and they just all shared some really great points, and it was so good. But hopefully you will be seeing some more interviews soon with other creative people or people going after their goals, some fellow geeks, because that's what we do here, personal development for geeks and creatives, and helping you learn more about who you are and then apply that to go after your goals. So yeah, if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content of me making mistakes, and as I'm trying to grow my skills and not be so hard on myself and overcome my perfectionism, and sharing lessons from superheroes and other geeky things, because there's a lot we can learn. Actually, there's so many that's another thing. So many good movies coming out this summer, so I'm really hoping I'll have, at least some videos, because I like doing that here, of lessons from geeky films, and yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what that sentence was. I don't know what to say anymore, so I think that about covers it for this quarter 2. What the world? Halfway? Yeah. I don't even know what I'm randomly emoting to things that don't match up with what I don't know. Okay, bye.